Hey, good morning, people. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Today is June 5, 2022, and the time is now 5:30 a.m. Yes, sunrise in New York City was at 5:25. Yes, so good morning, sunrise. Let me show you out there. Beautiful sunrise. You can hear the birds. Very beautiful. I love it. I always enjoy this time of day because it's so quiet and peaceful. I like that. And I hope everything's going well. What I'm going to talk about today, okay, I have my computer on. Yeah, I just jumped right into the conversation. Let me make it smaller. Okay. Well, yesterday I did a video and I covered the Jubilee, uh, uh, Queen Elizabeth II's 70th anniversary, the Jubilee celebration. And I showed the ceremony of the tree, the lights being lit, and the tree, what I call the tree of life, and this other YouTuber first presented it to his viewers, and I thought it was very interesting. But after I did yesterday's live stream, I looked at it more fully, with the audio on, and I thought, wow, that some things that because I didn't show all of it, but I started thinking, so something doesn't sit right here, and I kept going over it and over, and I couldn't quite. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. Yeah, I couldn't quite find find out what was different, what was getting my attention. And then it dawned on me what it was. I'm going to put on my glasses in case someone says, write something. Yeah, I need glasses to read, read small print. Yeah, so I want to share it with you again. I'm going to first put it on, okay, get my keyboard. And I hope you see. What you're going to see initially is Queen Elizabeth accompanied by other individuals, and there's going to be a light ceremony. I won't have the audio on, but I'll show you, step by step what's going on. Yes, I want to show you that. And if you notice something with the lights being lit, what do you notice? The first thing I would say is notice who's around now, where she's standing, who's around and all that. That's the first thing I want you to notice. And then what changes, and why they did it like that, I didn't know. So let me play it. Oops, commercial. Sorry. Sorry about that. Can't stand these commercials. Okay, I have to explain what is it. See, I didn't explain before what that. I said that was that was a globe, but actually, yes it is. But it's a globe of the Commonwealth nations, and it's sitting upon a crown, which is placed on top of a pillow. Okay, that's important to know. So this represents what she has dominion over. I took it as it was a dominion over the whole planet. But when I turned on the audio, it's actually a common that the globe represents the Commonwealth nations that her nation controls. Okay, I just feel I had to say that. I'm sorry. So he's presented it to the Queen Elizabeth. Okay, notice on the ground the lights. Okay, and she's going to do something next that's going to set as a catalyst. The lights down below. Excited. Watch carefully. Okay, now look around what you see. Okay, where this is happening. Okay, look what's around the buildings, the grass, and all that. The cameras, and they had the people standing next to her. Okay, so you see it continuing. Okay. So this is just a view of everything, you know, a pan shot of the whole area where the queen is, and you can see that the people are standing. You know, everything looks the same. But look what happens now. Okay. Now it looks like it's continuing, right? Look what happens. Boom. See that? Okay, I'm going to stop. Now what do you notice here? Now I kept playing this over and over again because something didn't sit right. I'm going to play that little bit again. Get my mouse. Okay. Just notice again. Okay, she's again she's being presented the Commonwealth globe. You can see that there's some people standing by to her left. Oh, you notice? You know, I'm just noticing here the guy. He stepped forward. I guess he felt concerned that she might something. Maybe she might trip or fall. I thought. See that? I thought that was interesting. But it's not significant. But I'm just noticing that now. See that? Now he's stepping back. She's okay. So all the people standing there. To the buildings, what they look like, an aerial view, and then boom. Now you see like as if it's continuing. But look at the area. What do you notice? They're two separate areas. They made it look like it was a continuation. Like now I was looking, thinking that on this picture, like I thought over here, the queen was over here, something like that. But then I started noticing there's no buildings here, no castle. Right? So what happened? You have a whole big crowd and I thought it was a trail, you know, of the lights, one direct trail. There's two. There's a building over there. I assume it's that building. It could be that building, or maybe it's another one. But it's in two separate locations. That's what I'm getting at. Let me show you again if you didn't notice. Let me show you again. Just if any of you could figure out why they did it like this. And you never see her again in the videos. This is the only time that you ever see her in the celebration, and it's her celebration. Why didn't they have her near the tree? Why didn't they have the tree right there? Yeah, she's very frail now, and they said that her leg was, you know, she was in pain. She's in a lot of pain. So I understand they don't want her to walk. You know, she's really frail now. I'm actually sad to hear that. You can tell that her left leg is swollen, a little swollen. See, watch again. You see that building, big building, the castle, on the grass. And you see it continuing on the lawn. And you notice up here, it comes to a point. Right? Like it's being gathered. And I assumed further down was the tree. But that's not the case. Any of you could, you know, any of you good with, you know, have ever been there? You know, what is this building called? Is this Buckingham? What is this building? Okay. So I'm going to continue. So it looks like it's continuing, right? And that's the tree. Okay? But it's two different locations. It's not the same location. And then now they're going to show the aerial view of the tree. And nowhere in sight is the queen. Why wasn't the queen to, because see, the queen won't be seeing all this tree. And I didn't understand it. Does any, do you understand, do you see it? They're two separate locations. And people won't be, people here, nobody here, and Prince William is here. And he won't be able to see his grandma, nor can his grandmother see these people. You didn't see any, what you call, monitors, so they can see the tree being lit. She won't be able to see it. I thought maybe she was at this building here, but you know, I'm not sure, because you only see part, you know, you don't see that other side. Maybe it's not even that building. But either way, if anybody knows what could have happened here. See, and here is a monument. Yeah, so so it didn't go through that monument where she was. So what happened? It was just something I noticed. And then I'm going to continue on, and I want to show you something else. That's William, Prince William. Yeah, he's there at the tree because I showed yesterday that he walked up to the tree. Okay, now you have the man singing. He's an American singer. He's a Grammy Award winner. I don't remember his name. I've never heard of him. and most of the people that, there are all black people. The mass majority of the people behind him are all blacks, and they're all watching. He's watching. You don't see the queen. You don't see the queen. Yet they're singing about her. Singing, and they're singing about a light that in the world has darkness. Okay. And look at this. I just noticed. Does anybody know who this man is? He's a former mayor of New York City, Bloomberg, Michael Bloomberg. He is a billionaire. This guy, this man, I don't know who he is, but he was very animated and is showing Prince William something on his cell phone. He was very animated. But why is Mayor Bloomberg there? You don't hear anything about him in New York City now. Nothing during the COVID, no, absolutely nothing. But he's at the Jubilee. I thought it was interesting. So a lot of Americans were there. Why? Yeah, the American singers, the former mayor. Let me go on. Okay, they showed another aerial view. Okay, I'll have to note here. Over here is where the singers, right there is the man, the lead singer, and this is his backup. And then over here are actually children, little children. You're going to see that later on. And no queen, they never show the queen again. Okay, this is going to be short. I fast forward it. I'll fast forward it. Okay, they're having a light show. Okay, and then fast forward, put it forward again. See the light show here. It's beautiful, beautiful tribute. And again, I don't know whether she can see this. Okay, now it's over. Okay. Now, notice this also. Now they're at the lower tip of that light. Now they were on the right side of it, but they decide to walk on the left side of the lights. And that I didn't understand, because he's going to walk to the tree now with his entourage. Let me show you that. It's Prince William's walking to, see that, the lights. But look who he goes and visits. I mean, who he talks to. See, to his left, to Prince William's left, are the people who were just singing songs in celebration of his mother. Right? See the people there? That's the guy. And these are all the people singing. Now, he was already on that side. He was on the same side of these people here that was singing beautifully. But for whatever reason, they walk over, because they have to cross over the lights, as you saw, and walk on the right side. And look who he's going to talk to first. Look at this. They're by the tree, and they're young children. These little children, most of them look like children of Asian ancestry, and some whites, and then just two black people. But he's greeting them, and he's talking to them. And why I don't understand this. They're standing by the tree, but we know that children represents the fruits, the first fruits, your children are offspring of you. And these are young children, and they buy that tree. And as I said, that tree that represents like life, the tree of life, and children represents fruitfulness. But I didn't understand his protocol. Why did he not go and approach the people who are singing in tribute to his mother? But he's going to walk and bypass the singers and just talk to the kids. But he does talk to the man eventually. He will have conversation, but I just wanted to show you that. He eventually does. But that didn't make sense to me. Let me see. Yeah, because he does eventually talk to the guy. Okay. Oh, brother, another commercial. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so now you see. So he's talking to the singer. Okay. Now I was offended, and I know I shouldn't, but I was offended because see here, this is a guest, a special guest. He is an American man, but he's going to go to these little kids who did nothing but just stand there. They did and said absolutely nothing during this whole ceremony. And I thought it would been the correct protocol to thank the guy to sing a tribute to his mom. And he's going to go talk to the kids. I thought that was something. I thought that was something. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but this is, see, everything is done in protocol. Everything, and he's supposed to be representing his mother here, because the mother's not here right now. For whatever reason, I would presume health reasons, but why they have it in two very remote areas, I can't figure that out. Okay, looks like another, see, that's another aerial view. Whoops. And they never show the queen again. And where she is, I don't know. But I thought it was interesting in this ceremony, much of the people that you see are people from South Asia looking types. And let me see here. And the people that were invited, see, look at here. She and the child looks like people from Asia. And they're right there. That's a very good spot. If you can get a ticket to actually witness this, to be just feet away from the queen. Yeah, I don't think the queen is going to do that much more public events like this one. Yeah, she couldn't handle it. I really hope, her well, that she gets the rest that she needs. So let me just turn around the camera. Okay. So, yeah, so I was studying that picture, and I thought it was really something. I didn't, it rubbed me the wrong way. It was a beautiful ceremony, but you have to ask yourself questions. Um, why they utilize who they use in certain ceremonies. Again, I mentioned yesterday already that I think the tree ceremony, it represents DNA, And whose DNA? It's a lot of controversy in America with regard to race, and now it's a move. It seems like a movement of going back to Africa. The song that the black man sings starts out with the world is very gloomy, and that something about the beacon, the light of the beacon uh, puts puts hope in you, something like that. So why they would have him sing that? So it really seems like I'm sure that the queen isn't feeling gloomy, and it's not pertaining to her, but it's pertaining to the people who are singing, predominantly all black, even though they're not from Britain. Um, so things happen for a reason, and I explained that yesterday. But I was, after that show, and it was hard for me to sleep yesterday. I stayed up a big part of the night, and I want to share with you some videos that I was watching. Let me see. Look on the history. Okay. Yeah, you have. I was looking on blacks in Europe. Yeah, let me turn it around. Sorry about the moving the camera like that. Yeah, these are some of the things I was looking at. The African diaspora in Britain. You had blacks in Europe, in Britain, for a long time. But let me just scroll through here. Let me see. Rather, my mouse isn't. Where is it? Okay. I thought this was very interesting. Look at that. More statues in Europe. This was really interesting. This was okay. Okay, part two, more, and it's spelled different way, Moors. Statues in Europe, real black history. Okay. Look at that. They're tiny, and the curly hair and the hoops. It's not a pejorative. Yeah, this is a looks like a life-size statue. That's on a building. It's beautifully done. I mean, I wonder who these people are in history. I might gather, because of the size of them, that they're from the equatorial Africa. That's what I think, rather than, like, say, North Africa or I mean, who knows? Does anyone know? This was a very interesting um, video, and this one here was a different, like, the Black Boy Inn. Yeah, this was interesting. This one is Black Lives Matter versus the Black Boy Inn. Okay, this is about a 400-year-old pub called Black Boy. Okay. But it turns out that, okay, they had these inns. Like an inn is like the place where you could come and drink and maybe relax a little bit. And all over Britain. And there are the statues like these, all different types of black statues. And so in light of now what the Black Lives Matter movement that even hit Europe, people now see this pub, this 400-year-old pub, and they offended. But this pub existed 400 years. It's still around. And so in context, what is this all about in the context of Black Lives Matter and people being sensitive to anything with the word black or black people on it, that they assume that it's something pejorative? But it turned out that the Black Boy Inn was about the king. What was it? King Charles the Second. King Charles the Second of Britain. Um, he was. His mother would say that yes, he's has dark hair, and his skin is dark as well. And this King Charles the Second wanted to reestablish his monarchy because I guess he was it was fear of losing it, so he reestablished the monarchy in Britain. And you had followers in Britain who wanted to support their king, and so they had, you know, what they call those inns, and they named it after him because he was affectionately called um, um, a, 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 a black person. And they named there are many pubs in Britain that are called Black Boy Inn, and it's not. It's about in solidarity to the king. It's their king, and so it showed that with the solidarity, it helped keep his throne in Britain. I thought it was wow. It's something that there is a black presence that happened. When did that happen now? Yeah, 400 years ago, in the 1400s. Or what's the 1600s? I forget now. But you could just type in um, King Charles II. They said 400 years ago, so you do the you do the math. So maybe that's the 16th and 1800s. Yeah, okay. So that'd be like the 1600s rather than the 1400s. So the slave trade was just really, you know, with Britain just started to pick up. But you had people living in Europe who were people clearly of African ancestry. And they weren't necessarily in negative roles, but leadership. Leadership. It'd be interesting to know who these people are, what countries they came from. And it seemed like a lot of the people that they showed were tiny. Let me click on this video. Because I think they show other people. I'm just curious. They have some. Okay, make sure. Yeah, okay, the sound is off. See that? Look at that. Look at it. It's beautifully done. See that? This is not a pejorative. Just because someone lives, just because a black person is there, doesn't mean he's a slave. Let me go for it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find other things. Look at, yeah, that's what the one I was looking for. I've seen this in drawings. Look at them. See their stature? See, they're not tall, but these are life size and very nicely done. These men aren't looking, you know, these statues aren't something beneath them. Look at that. I think it's beautiful. They're strong and they're proud. And if you know, I mean, I've seen drawings of these people before. Like in drawings for in the sugar products, and they drew these pictures like this. And I was wondering where they came from, what part of Africa. Oh yeah, some of them. You had some blacks commenting that these are American Indians. You can clearly see they're not Indian about them. These are black people. See that? Oh, I would love to find out where. Because they use this likeness in the products, these sugar products. Does anybody know what tribe these people could be from? I mean, these are statues. It's done beautifully. This isn't shame. I mean, when they show blacks in Europe, like in statues and stuff, it's always done top of the line, top. Nice. Look at that. This is positive. Look at that. And they got a little crown. These are proud people. That's nice. This is really interesting. Let's see what else. Oops, let's see. Let me pull it back. Okay. Others. How it looked like a crown. Morin. This is in Germany. This is German, this language. And all throughout Germany, you have this. Germany recognizes, okay, that looks like a crown. That's clearly a black man, right? Moor House, the house of the Moors. Remember, the Moors controlled parts of Europe for 800 years. 800 years before the slave trade, what we know as the transatlantic slave trade, you had Africans in Europe. And you look at this. These are old. These are old. Look at that. This is in Germany. Let's see what's here. Okay, the other statues. And you notice the body type of them is about the same. Oh, okay. This one they're saying that the call it the kneeling slave. Now, yeah, he mentioned about this. Just because the person is kneeling doesn't mean it's a slave. It's just someone in a position. Doesn't mean it. Yeah, the black doesn't indicate slave. You know what this person looks like? You know what? This person, this statue looks like the I think she's the mayor of DC or Maryland. Yeah, it looks like her. Lightfoot, I think her last name is Lightfoot or Blackfoot. The same type of face. Wow. Try to find other things here. What's that? Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. You think they have that in America? That's royalty, honey. This is probably some type of royalty. This isn't. This is not anything pejorative, not in America. This is very nice, and red is a powerful color. Has a turban. This is probably what some of the Moors look like. They're called Moors. Moor House. Interesting. Let me see what else. Look at that. See it? German. Morin. Very interesting. I gotta find out. That's beautiful. I mean, doesn't this make you excited to want to know where these, you know, so obviously these Germans, this is in Germany, that there was a presence of blacks in Germany, or at least they had such a strong impact on the citizens there, the artisans, that they put it up there. Right? This is not, it's not dumb pejorative. You know, in the US they have these things. But this is showing a man's strength, honey. This is nice. It's nicely done. Look at that. These are probably all Moors from Morocco, right? It doesn't where Moors come from Morocco. But you go to Morocco now, they don't exactly like, I mean, you have, I've met Moroccans that were dark, ebony in color. They were tall though, really, really tall. Tall and very slim. But Morocco now, there's a rainbow of colors. They tend to be like tan to brown, but they could be very light and very dark. They look like mixed race black people in Morocco. This is beautiful. See, at the turban. So I assume that they, you know, they're from North Africa, and so they had to have people that look like this, right? Wouldn't the logic be they had people that looked like this that were in their land and they were in some position of leadership? Okay. So okay, fresco of Saint Maurice. Okay, Saint Maurice. I've heard of that name, Saint Maurice. In armor, so that looks like a warrior, right? That's armor and a cape. So it's like he's in battle fatigues, but also type of royalty. He has a cape on, so he might be like a general or something like that. I've heard of Saint Maurice. Let me type in that. Let me try something here. Let me Google. I'm gonna type in Saint Maurice. Saint Maurice. Okay. Okay, Saint Maurice. Oh, look at that. Okay, so okay. Let me click on it. Okay, Saint Maurice, according to Wikipedia. Okay, Saint Maurice, also Morris, okay, Coptic, okay, was an Egyptian military leader who headed the legendary Theban Legion of Rome in the 3rd century and is one of the favorite and most widely venerated saints of that martyred group. Oh, okay, he was martyred. He is the patron saint of several professions, locales, and kingdoms. So he was martyred. He was an Egyptian. Oh, look at that, people. Look at that. This is medieval depiction of him. Okay, the 3rd century. Look at that. It is. See that? That's an Egyptian. Yeah, and you know, interesting. Earlier last week, someone was making mention about um, Egypt and that there was a racist incident against a black person who was visiting Egypt. It was a woman, it was a black American woman that was telling the story. and then there was some incident. Nothing happened to her, but a biased incident to a black fellow, and that's why she doesn't want to go to Egypt. Now, I've been to Egypt. I've been to Egypt. Those Egyptians are not, I don't know what really happened. I mean, I wasn't there. I know I was there and I was with a whole bunch of black women, very dark skinned black women and brown skinned women, you know. I was in the military and nothing, no one tried to hurt us. I mean, someone did try to want to rip us off. He was a substance abuser and he was going through some changes, you know. And when we had to leave the club, he wanted us to stay at the club because he wanted, relying on money. He wanted us to spend money at the place. And when we left early, his opportunity for making money was, yeah, in Egypt and lots of parts of Africa, their money, money is tight. Let me just say that money is tight, and many of them try to do things to try to extract money from you. Okay, so I don't know how they can say a biased incident against a black person because they were black, when their history they are black people. They are black. So it really confused me because I've been to Egypt and I saw what the people look like. Some could be jet black in color, and some, tan and brown. A lot of brown, like my color. And of course, a come lighter. But Egypt has a black press. Yeah, I never felt that I was going to be targeted because of my color. That's maybe because I'm a female. But look, this is St. Maurice. Look at that. And they said he was an Egyptian. I'm glad I'm showing you this. This when he was born 3rd century. Okay. He died in 287. Wow. Way before the slave trade. See, blackness does not equate slave. People were people. People were nationalities. People had languages. It wasn't, these weren't the so-called scientists from the German era. See, all this racing really started happening. The race stuff in the, what was that, 1800s. So it's quite a while. This whole concept of black and white is a new construct. These people didn't see themselves as white or black. They had nations. Whatever that nation was, that's what you were. And people traveled. People, interact with people. Did they have the Nazis living back then? Okay, this is, again, the year 287. They were just people. Just people. And we're just people now. But now there's that people are being taught things about themselves it's a mind control. Blacks was in all types of position. Let me go back to that other tab. Okay, that's St. Maurice. Let's see other things here. Look at this. Wow, that is beautiful. This is all in Europe. Blacks had flair. Look at that. This is very, the artists love this person. You can tell with an artist. You can tell when an artist loves the subject that he's doing. When they're drawing or painting or doing sculpture, this artist liked, liked what he was doing and brought out the best in him. It's very alive. It's very African. That is that's a fantastic work, and it's done. It's not a caricature. It's beautifully done. The artwork and how Europeans viewed us in a very artistic way. But things changed. Lives had changed. Who's this? See the big turban? Let's see. Wow. See the banana, I call it the banana skirt. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay, that's German. Okay. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I learned just recently that Germany had colonies in Africa. I never knew that. I never knew that until just recently, about 2 weeks ago. I said Germany was in Africa. Yeah. I didn't know Germany had colonies or interest in Africa. I had no idea. I thought it was only Britain and France. And how wrong I was. Wow. So I'm wondering whether these people, because it's the same type of person that this is in German, the language. The people wearing that same outfit, this is a beautiful bronze. I wonder whether it's the people that they had a colony. I have to check it out. I have to key in German influence in Africa and find out what locations they were in, and to find out who these people are. Yeah, they have a very distinct body type. When you go into Africa, they have different body types. That's really interesting about people. Africa is so diverse in the phenotypes, not just the skin color, but the body type. It's really interesting. Some of us could be really, really tall and skinny. Some of us really tiny, and everything in between. It's fantastic. It's really interesting. I really would like to go to Africa. Look at these. Look at that. Stoop. Okay, that looks like also Moor. The Moors had a big presence in Germany. People, I mean, you see how they, depicted here very positive. I'm wondering, I wanted to these people commission these stained glass windows. Because it's a positive portrayal. I would like to know what is the significance. I mean, are these? I mean, like some people might think, hey, maybe it's to show ownership that the Germans own these people, and the what do you call it? What do you call it? This what do you call it? Like the shield, like this, like an emblem that signifies something. But I don't think this is that they're owning that person. I think that person is some type of, they had some type of position there. I don't know. Let's see what else. Okay, that's the same type of, they showed that before. Look at that. Look at this, is very old. Who's that now? This is very old, this one. Look at that. You think he's a slave here? People, blacks were in leadership in Europe. Blacks were in leadership in Europe. This is all in Europe. This is not in Africa. These pictures are in Europe. And look at what he was wearing. This is not a slave. This is someone in high position, people. But what happened? What happened in history? I mean, it's just a turn of events all of a sudden. The past, I would say, was that the so-called science of the 1800s. So the past 200 years, things switched, really switched, and the discrimination. Like I was watching another program, and even though slavery had ended, because you had blacks from the Caribbean moving to Britain. And blacks were being discriminated against with schools. Blacks weren't allowed in certain colleges to learn the professions like medicine and law and things like that. But you had some who did achieve it. They don't want you to achieve. And they don't want you to achieve because you are great. Black people did things with excellence. But now they want to vilify you. And now it's like they just want you to be used for military. You know, and now this person looks like a military person, you know, a leader of some type. I mean, this person got a cape on and a golden staff. Now this is, you know, if this is someone in the military, I would presume he must be someone high up to have a statue. Okay? That's what I can deduct from that. It's not just a lay person. But yeah, I do notice that a lot of like in like in the Arab world, Arab speaking world, I should say, so the Arabian Peninsula, they use these really tall, dark-skinned black men, and they always seem to use them for security. Even in movies, they show a quick look at someone in security, you know, by a building, but they don't really want to focus on them, but they show a little piece. Who are these people? And why are we just being used for security? And in the U.S., at least in New York City, who is the primary group that they use for security in New York City? Black people. Blacks, whether they're from blacks in America, blacks from the West Indies, and blacks from Africa, West Africa. I used to do that type of work also, briefly, just for about 2 years. Yeah? It's almost exclusive now. And you know, a lot of those guards, those security, they racially profile other black people. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. See, we get corrupted and we think, see, we have unfortunately, some of us have a slave mentality. They want to impress the white man, and so they want to racially profile their fellow black. Anybody could be a thief. Anybody. And I've been mistreated by black men in security. I was shocked. I was shocked. Have some balls, you know. See, we need to establish having balls, you know, men and women. Have some balls and stop being letting yourself be used to harass your fellow countrymen. Don't harass anybody. Just do your job. That's what I'm saying. Do your job. You don't have to do foolishness, but I'm seeing a lot of people. A lot of people are ashamed. See, we don't know our history, and I definitely wasn't taught my history. I mean, we had one Black Studies class when I was in the fourth grade, just one semester, and that's it. And the teacher didn't like herself either. She was a dark-skinned black woman, very pretty, very. I remember how beautiful she was. But she didn't like being black. She was mentioning about her hair. She says, "Oh, I don't want to cut my hair short." She wore a big afro. She says, "I don't want to cut my hair short because they're going to mistake me for an African." That's what she said. I was what? I was confused. And she had a mixed race baby. The baby, the child was maybe 5 years younger. So I was about 9, and her kid was 4, and she had like that light yellow skin and green eyes, and I think the hair was a light color. Yeah, so much for her black teaching black pride. But it happens. But see, all over the world, see, we need to learn about each other. Blacks aren't just in North America, blacks from the African diaspora. Yeah, blacks throughout the Americas. And most of us were sent to what we call Latin America. And a lot of Latin Americans do not embrace, many of them, not all, but many of them do not embrace, nor they want to be classified or be associated of having a black genetics or black history. They want all that history forgotten. Even they have a lot of Africanisms, a lot of the religious traditions that they do in what we call Latin America is conducted in the African language. And the foods they eat is heavily African influence, and it's very exciting to see. But and the music especially. The Dominican Republic, heavily African in its beats. Brazil, very African. Puerto Rico, also very African, but don't want to be associated with blackness. So they might embrace their food, their music. It's like if they can have the music and the food, but deny its heritage, that's what's happening many times. And it's sad. As in the military, you had Hispanics that didn't want to be associated with black people and target some of the black people. It was awful. I think how sad, how rich a history. See, when you do things like that, you are the ones, and people who do that, not just Latin America, but even North America too, West Indians, all over the planet. When you do that to yourself, when you treat people like that because you're hiding your history, you're hurting yourself, and you're promoting racism and the continuation of that mental system of oppression. Cut it out and be liberated. This is a time for personal liberation for all people. All people, learn your history. Embrace it. This is beautiful. Isn't this beautiful? You weren't something to be made fun of. You were praised. Look at that. They took time to do this. Look at this. It's beautiful. And they're standing up. And these guys, I don't know who these guys are, but look at them. Look at with a crown in his hand. Look at that. Look at oh, look at that. This is beautifully done. Yeah, blacks were in Europe in positions of authority, of some type of prestige. Look at that. Beautifully done. Look at that, their headpiece. Look at that. You think, isn't that beautiful? This is how they thought of you. Not some stupid guy with his pants down twerking. This is dignified. That's a beautiful little child. Don't you think that's beautiful? They took pride in themselves, people. Start having pride in yourself. Have pride and dignity. Teach your boys, put their pants on right, or slap them across their face. You say, you're going to come into this house looking like a pig? You slap them. Put your pants on right. So you have to start speaking and teaching your children. See, these Europeans now are using psychological warfare against you. They don't have to put a chain on you. You put the chains on yourself, people, and you perpetuate the racial stereotypes and the being showing yourself in a beneath way. You are putting the nail in your coffin. You are. You do make these movies that are so pejorative, and then you laugh, you think it's funny, and you make it so you sell yourself short. For a loaf of bread, you make these movies that are so pejorative. All my life, as an adult, I've always tried to present myself in a very positive way. I worked in a place I was one of the few black people. I worked in resorts. One resort. I worked in, there was one other, she was a Dominican lady, lighter skin, but a black woman. And myself. I was only black American female, black American female. And things that happened to me, it's like you get attacked. They want to attack you. They don't want your presence there. But seeing things like this, your presence was already in these places. See, they've forgotten about you. It could be because of the Moorish time there for 800 years. But people are forgotten. They're removed. They were expelled in 1492. So that would have been interesting. But people forget, right? I mean, I don't know. But again, you see all these statues that are left behind, and it seems to still have, a positive ring to it. What's this here? Okay, that's the end of it. Okay. So we turn it around. Okay, yeah. So, what do you like? How did you like those pictures? I hope you liked it. Yeah, yeah. We have a history. We're not just a color people. We're not a color. We're people. And when you go to other parts of the world, we have all different expressions of ourselves, especially in the Americas. I mean, I haven't really traveled within the Americas. I have been and lived in the Caribbean briefly. Um, I've been to different states, and I would say, like, you have to form your own education. I think this is not. I think what's happening now. You have to make the decision for yourself about how you want to live your life. You cannot wait for a school system to teach you Black history. You have to teach yourself it. And again, the school curriculum should be designed by the community. And who's the community but you? Know what is important to you to build your community. But like in the US, it's like, it's not, I mean, it's like a prison here. You can't really fully express yourself because you're going to be watched by the police. But they're allowing all these other people in of color, and many of them are darker than me. So it's not about skin color, it's about politics. And it's about, they don't want you to achieve. Well, you got to make it happen for you. And I would say it starts with the individual and the families that they come from to come together and make a plan for their lives as a family and then as a community. Much of us meet together in church. Rather than you just giving your money to a church, make the church work for you and have demands. It's not just entertainment. You gotta make it work for you. It's enslaving. Religion is enslaving you. It is. Because it's not working for you. It's keeping you in bondage. If you go into that church, you have it as a, have it serve you. If it doesn't serve your needs, if it doesn't build your community, you better throw it out. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah. The state of the blackness, blacks in the America, it's it is what it is. Because see, we feed our minds with this negative narrative. How many of these other people survived slavery and bondage and all that? You survived it. You survived it. And you can continue on. You have strong genes. You are a strong person. And they're using psychological warfare. And I shared that with you yesterday with the super soldier who said they wanted to do social engineering against the black communities in America and have them move overseas back to Africa and then use germ warfare, what do you call it, to nuke them. And those who don't die, to sell them to extraterrestrials. You saw that video I did yesterday. I shared that information two other times too. And that video was done in 2013. And he knew about that there's going to be a black movement to go back to Africa. And that they're going to use social engineering to force blacks to make that decision to leave America. But it could be a trap. Whatever it is, you make your choice what's beneficial. If you feel a place is really hostile against you, then maybe it's best for you to leave. If something doesn't embrace you, I'm tired of, I'm not here to make people love me. Don't force people to love you. It's either love you or hate you. And if they hate you in your face, you are very blessed. Because it's those who smile in your face but stab you in the back. Those are the ones you have to be careful about. Really be careful about. Love and embrace yourself. You are who you are. You are indigenous on the planet. And they don't want to be reminded of that. The system, doesn't want you reminded. You're in positions of good stature. And you really, historically, you don't see indigenous peoples really harming anyone. But all this melee, those people of who started the Abrahamic faith system, seem to be a catalyst for the destruction of this planet. They are. And it's a shame. This Abrahamic faith system is the detriment to humanity. You have a natural, people who are in natural systems. Nature. You study nature. That is a religion. It's a science, and it embraces you. Embrace what supports you. Nature. And these Abrahamic faith systems are giving you plastic food, plastic rice. Did you see that? They're making plastic rice for plastic people. Come back to nature. Come back to nature, people, and be free of this fake, phony, monetary system of destruction. They want you dependent on these devices. And yeah, I'm looking at a device right now on my phone. But they really want you dependent. Now they're going to make these electric cars. What if people, I want to try this myself to see if I can go without electricity, even for one day. I want to do that. I want to do that somehow. Yeah, everything's connected to electricity. Even this phone, I have a phone, a house phone. We call it a landline house phone. It requires electricity for the phone. Look at that. Communication. Yeah, this civilization is for us to become dependent on unnatural means. It's not a natural system. And I think it's affecting the African, the Asian, the Pacific Islander. Yeah, I lived in the Pacific Islands too. And they are troubled. See, they don't talk about it, the state of the Pacific Islander. But when you go there, it's not that many American blacks there. But I lived there for a couple of years, and they're mistreating. What the U.S. is doing, they use some of their islands for target practice. They said, if you let us use your island to bomb, so we can practice our maneuvers, we'll send you to school here. I kid you not, people. They use the islands, some of the islands in the Pacific, for target practice. And also in the Caribbean, the island of Vieques is part of Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. And they use Vieques for target practice. They bomb it. Yeah, till they're angry. They're angry. Rightly so. Rightly so. And some of us, we turn our anger on ourselves. We become hateful to be reminded of our blackness. I met a person of Hawaiian Puerto Rican mix, and she had severe hatred towards me. She said, right when I met her for the first time, she said right up front, I don't like you because of your color. You're dark like my sister. That's what she said in front of a white lady. Yeah, you have some people of that background that are so self-hating that they think, and this happened before, that some Hispanics would do things in front of white people to show that they are all about whitey and that they hate black people. For some of them, it might work, but you're selling yourself short, honey. You're selling yourself short. You're still a slave if you do stupidness like that. Don't be stupid. Yeah, she passed away. She passed away quite tragically. Yeah, after I left that island. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of racism in Hawaii. Yeah, I lived in Hawaii for almost 3 years. And I had to go. I had to make a decision. I said, do I really like it here? Or I just want people to think I like it there because I'm in Hawaii. And I said, I don't like it here. And then I made the decision to come back to New York. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, the land is beautiful, and I met some really nice people, but it's a hatred. The people that don't like themselves. They don't want to marry their own. They want to marry anybody but themselves. And it's sad. And some of them could be the worst bigots. Yeah, they don't like the presence of so-called black people. Yeah, I was shocked. But everybody wants to brag to say to the tourists that they have Hawaiian blood. The Hawaiians have black skin. Yeah, the native Hawaiian. You look at the Hawaiian statues. Let me show you. Let me see. I'll show you. I'm sorry. Yeah, King Kamehameha. Okay. All right. Yeah. Images. Okay. They're gonna say they don't like black people. What is this? Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. What is that, people? What is that? Hello? Hello, is anybody home? What is that? Is that a white man? It's King Kamehameha. Kapa'au. Look at that. That's a black man. Hello? That girl who had a Hawaiian mother and a Puerto Rican father, she should have looked in her history. Look at that. Hello, people. Look at that. See, they're whitewashing. See, this one looks more, okay. Yeah, those are flowers on. Come on, trying to, okay. Okay. Look at that. People. Okay, that's an actor. He's a half Pacific Islander, but his daddy's a black American, but they want to whitewash him. They don't want they want to remove his blackness. That's a black man. See that? But yet they don't like black people. Look at that. I didn't put this up. Look at that. People, talk to me. What color is that? Okay. King Kamehameha. And they're whitewashing the Pacific Islands. They're bleaching them out. Now the Hawaiians are very light skinned. Many of them are very light skinned now. His color even lighter. Okay, but they start out black. And yet they don't like black people. I mean, when the girl said that to me, and it was the first time I'm meeting her, I was amazed. I thought I wanted to laugh. And the Queen. Let me see. I want to see if I can find something here. See, I speak the truth, people. See, the girl. See, I like the girl. Oh, that. I used to speak to her on the phone. She was very good in sales, and she was to train me, and um, and she was fun to talk to. And then I had to report to work, and she was had the same shift that I was to work to train me. And she was with a white customer, and she looked at me, as I approached to sign in, and she said what she said about me. She had children. Her daughter was darker than me, and her mother's darker than me, but yet she says, I don't like you because you're dark like my sister. What about her mother? But see, she can say her mother's Hawaiian. See, Puerto Ricans of black ancestry. And she knows that. And her daughter her sister most likely has, the curly hair. She had the straight hair, and she's married to a white guy. You have a lot of that in Hawaii, that you have girls that try to marry white guys, and then they become bigots. Yeah, Filipinos that do. You had the Hawaiians, some of the Hawaiian. Um, yeah, bigots. You haven't seen bigots until you go to Hawaii. Yeah, what was that now? I want to put down, what's that name? Yeah, I want to do the macadamia nuts girl. Macadamia nut girl. Hope I did that right. Yeah, when I was just before I left, they had this thing. It was a product, and they're going to use. I was so angry. They wanted to change the product to represent the new Hawaii. Let me see here. The new Hawaiian new Hawaiian girl for macadamian company. Let's see. Hope I can find it. I was so mad. But okay, I can't find it. But let me show you who they show. Okay, I already showed you what the guy looked like. Look at the girls. What does that look like? They look more Asian, right? See that? They're whitewashing Hawaiians. I already showed you what King Kamehameha looked like. See that? That's how generally they had to show them. That's how they want to show them. Kind of pale with long hair, but you already showed what the king looked like. He had an afro. Let's see. Okay. See, okay. Let me turn it around. See, they're whitewashing you. They're whitewashing Latin America for you to forget who you are. But the position of the people in Hawaii are not good. They're in poverty, many of them. And they have a what they call a homestead. This is a gated community. It's a raggedy gate that they use, and it's really to keep them in there. It is the where they built the house. Now the land over there, where for the homestead, is all sandy. And one of the houses that I was a guest in, it was kind of, not stable, and the wall was all sand, and that thing could just fall right in the house. I was nervous. And the land is only for 100 years, and then it belongs to the government. So it's not their homestead. It's not a real homestead. Your homestead doesn't last for only 100 years, and then the government confiscates it, the land. Yeah, but they're not really they're not fighting, but they're angry. The Hawaiian guy, there's a lot of drug abuse, and I feel badly for them. And many of them, they're not marrying, they're not having children with other Hawaiians. They're having children with other Hawaiians. Again, it's their business. It's other people's business. It's your own business who you want to sleep with and who you want to have children. That's your business, who you associate with. But I'm just saying what's happening. Because the pain of losing your land, and then the pain of not of seeing people like Black Americans and want to feel empowered, false sense of empowerment. Not all of them. I met someone really nice. This veteran guy, he was beautiful to me, very nice. He went out of his way to help me. That one man, and I did call back the office. I want to get in contact with them. I think he already passed away. His health was kind of compromised at that time. Yeah, the last thing I heard that he left the island and was living with his daughter on another Hawaiian island. He was a good man, good man. Yeah, the last time I called I think a year ago, 1 or 2 years ago, and he was a veteran, and he held, I used him with it was a veterans organization that he was a part of, and so I got in contact with them to try to get, I gave him the name, and I said, look, he did me very well and everything. I just want to, I don't think he's alive, but he had a daughter, and I just want to say thank you. Yeah, yeah, I wanted to reach at least his daughter, if she's still alive, and thank them for what a beautiful man he was. He was a good guy. But I'm sad for the Hawaiians because they're really a beautiful people. But many of them are getting corrupted, and many of them are falling into drug abuse. I forget what I'm looking for here. I'm sorry. Oh, I was going to look for let me type in Lily Lukilani. I think that's a Lily Lukilani. Queen, yeah. Okay, she's a queen. Let me show you her. Okay, this is their queen. Okay. Does that look like a white woman to you? Hello. This is their queen. They didn't give up the throne. It was taken from them. Yeah, I feel badly for them because they're really a nice people, man. Okay. What color is she? And that girl on my job is telling me that they don't like my color? What the color is their queen? Fucking idiot. See, people don't know their history. And she thought she could save herself by marrying that white guy. He only married her because he wanted to form a church for the native people and brainwash them. Beautiful, huh? See, it's really sad in Hawaii. The black presence in Pacific Islands. What color is that? What color do they want you to think they are? See, Queen of Hawaii. Embrace you. See, they're trying to whitewash you. That's a beautiful woman. And they're whitewashing them now. Look at this now. A painting. Make her look almost like a white girl. You see that? Queen Lukilani. Lily Lukilani. That doesn't look like this. See that? Does that look like that? See what I'm telling you? Hello? Hello, people. See, that's how they rob your history. And they put themselves in the picture. Look at that. That's a nice statue. But everybody in Hawaii wants to run and get a white boyfriend and have pale babies, or they marry other Pacific Islanders from other locations like South Pacific Islanders. So everybody's light, or they marry the Portuguese there that are in Hawaii. They don't want to marry their own. And I thought that was sad. Oh, I wonder what that says. Hawaii's ex-queen files a protest. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they never gave up the throne. It was taken from them. And it seems like see, we're people of color around the world. They think a lot of they treat you like all black people are bad. They mistreat black people, some of them. They don't see them, so they don't want to see them so that are facing the same. It's like they're not. We have the same common enemy. We have the same enemy, but they're treating us like we're the enemy. How I was treated in Hawaii. Not all of them are like that. I want to say some of them are extremely. The nicest people that I ever met, I met in Hawaii, but it was a heavy racism there. The attacks I got was mostly from people of color there. It's something. It's really so. It's a beautiful land and everything. Beautiful. Here's done with Europeans. So it said, Lily Lokalani, the last queen of Hawaii. And the white guys are standing up. Yeah, they breathe them out. They want you to forget who you are. And so they want you to forget who you are, and they want you to think that you're a white person. That the more white you act and look, the more they want to. The more you get benefits. Okay, look at that girl. The Hawaiians is a collective. It was a series of people that came to the Pacific Islands, that part what we call Hawaii, and then it came under a monarchy, and the monarchy united all the islands of what we call the Hawaiian Islands. So they vary in appearance, but as you see, they're not white. Look at that. but then they're going to dislike black people. It's really stupid. These are beautiful people. The culture and everything, it's really nice. Some aspects were so beautiful. I really liked a lot of aspects of it. But the system, when it's about working, when it's getting jobs, that's when the racism comes out. But they don't bother white people though. Even though the white people stole their land. Okay. Yeah, even though the white people stole their land, but they're not gonna like people like myself. They make fun of black people there. You think white people are bad? You go there. Yeah, sometimes they're really blunt. Really, it's like a fear that they have. It's an anger and a fear. Like you wouldn't believe. And it was worse there than some of the whites here in America, in North America. Yeah. So it's really interesting. Again, this is not saying all of them. There's some really nice people that I met in Hawaii. But it's just sad that when you have a nation of people who are in bondage, their land was stolen from them. They didn't do a genocide, a physical genocide like the Indians, but they removed how they lived. They forced them to wear shoes. They put, the invaders put this weeds on the floor that has prickly things, so if they go barefooted, their feet get pricked. So they're forced to wear shoes. They don't wear shoes even when they play. In modern day Hawaii, they play without their shoes. But they want to force these European stuff upon them. Yeah. And they vilify people of the Pacific Islands. I saw foreign movies of other Pacific Islanders, and they portrayed as like thieves and things like that. See, it's even spreading there in the Pacific Islands, making it equated with dark skin being criminals. And you have to stop this. You have to stop this. You have to wake up. You have to wake up to who you are. Find out who you are. Talk to your relatives or your parents. There was a time before those invaders came. Find out about that time and embrace it. And try to restore that for you. Yeah, I wish I could find that thing with the macadamian. Yeah, I saw it the picture, it's a product. Um, wait, let me try it again. Makaloa, let's see. Makaloa nuts. There's some, let's see. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. Macadamia nut companies. Macadamia nut companies in Hawaii. Okay, if I can find that. Yeah, Mona Loa. It could be that one. Okay. Let me put that name in. Mona Loa. Okay, macadamia nuts. They had a promotion. It was just before I left. They wanted to get a new girl on their product. The new Hawaiian. You know who they got? A white-looking female. White skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, Um, but she's mixed. She got a little this and that, different races, different nationalities in her, but she's representing Hawaii. The people should have just screamed out. See, they want to whitewash blackness and make light pretty and then give you benefits for being a fair-skinned person. See, that's why a lot of people, you find even Africans bleaching their skin. That skin bleach, it's poisonous. It gets in your blood system. That can kill you. I'm trying to find it if I can find her. Okay, let me see. Mona Loa macadamia nuts girl. Oh, come on, girl. Oh, let's just say woman. 81 Mona Loa Lutz, pretty woman. Okay. Okay. And a lot of the girls that they have are Filipino. They're not Hawaiian. A lot of the girls that you see, the hula dancer, they're not Hawaiian. They use Filipino girls because they got the long, straight hair. Hey, hello, Naga. Yes, Grand Rising. Yeah, if I could find that picture, the Mona Loa, I think it's that brand. I could be wrong, the brand. I'm just trying to find, because they're doing a promotion. Yeah. I was so offended. I mean, I'm not Hawaiian. I have no Pacific Island blood. But for someone to do that to a people who I showed you what they looked like. They were black-skinned people. And I knew Hawaiians there, Native Hawaiians there, and they were black in complexion, the more purebred ones. And I was friends with their family, this particular family. Um, I don't know where she is, but if I find it, if I find it, yeah. Most of who you see are all Filipino Chinese mix. I like Filipinos; they're very nice people. But what they good, you know, show you this. Okay, but beautiful woman. She don't look anything near of what those other people look like. See that? I mean, it's a great product. I don't see anybody else. What's that? The Prize Hawaii Tribune. I don't know who she is. Yeah. If I find it, if I find it, yeah, if I find it, I'll show you. Yeah, it was a new promotion ad. Oops. It was a new promotion ad, and I was furious. I was furious. I said, well, this is the modern day Hawaiian. It's going to be used to represent our product, because she's inclusive. What about like inclusive? No, it's whitewashing. It's whitewashing your history to associate you as something other than who you are, and then you don't want to marry your own. You don't want to, anything white is right in Hawaii. It's sad. Oh well, I've gone long enough. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, take those of you just coming on, you could look at the very beginning stream of this live stream. I had to I wanted to discuss that tribute that they did for Queen Elizabeth. That it was something that I noticed that didn't make sense with the lighting of the tree. They only show her once, Queen Queen Elizabeth, when she pressed the globe, and then it made it look like there were two locations where the queen was, and then where the tree was lit was a completely different area, and she was never showed again, the queen, throughout this whole process. Yet her health, as you can see when she was walking, she looked very frail. Um, Very interesting. Yeah, and the other thing I showed in this video was the blacks in Europe, in artwork, the statues and everything. So you might like to take a look at that. It's really exciting. Yeah, black people were depicted, was it black Africans were depicted in a very positive way in art. Um, we have a strong presence, even in Germany. And you start to wonder why they hate it now. Well, maybe we had such a strong presence, and they don't want us to gain momentum over Africa. Maybe, I don't know whether it's because of the Moors that invaded Europe, but then again, they were ordered out in 1492. 1492. And shortly after 1492 was the first cargo of slaves being brought to the Dominican Republic, what's known now as the Dominican Republic. That was around 1504. Yeah, slavery was before, what was that, 1619 in America? It was already going on for over 100 years in the Caribbean, in what they call Latin America. But Latin America better wake up. You gotta wake up. See, all that poverty that's in Latin America, and it is race-based, it seems the colorism that happens there, you know, who's in positions, but the lighter skinned people, but the darker skinned people, where do they live? And it's based on slavery and who was able to get and who didn't. The more European you looked, or the more mixed you were of European, the more favor you get. But the poverty is poverty, you know. And so maybe there's colorism, you know, stratifications, but there's still how you still treat it. Yeah, it's horrible. So yes, I'm not trying to dig up a hornet's nest. It's about you should be comfortable with your skin, with your body, no matter where you live on this planet, no matter what your history was in the Americas. It's a time to wake up, to a time to embrace what culture you came out from, that it's not evil. What is evil is who oppressed you, who's raping you, who's violated your culture and the way you thought about yourself. And you look at the artwork that I showed you, those are people who they like themselves. They were tall, they weren't tall, but they stood proud and everything. It was really nice, some of them. Really nice. So no matter what your race is though, no matter what your nationality, love yourself and embrace nature because it sustains you. Don't be a plastic person, be a real human being. And to do so is by embracing the full spectrum of nature in all its glory. Stay away from this, try to stay away from this plastic world that they're trying to make for the African and other native people and even Europeans. You don't want that system. It's fake and you perish with it. Yeah. So I thank you for listening. And those of you who like this content, you may wish to PayPal me. To do so, just click on the, go to my channel, Spirit Journey. And on the banner's right-hand side, you'll see my PayPal me link. Click on the link, follow the prompt, and any amount would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I appreciate you, and I thank you in advance. Thank you again. Have a great Sunday. And who knows if I might have to do another video after this later on. But either way, take care. And until next time, soon I hope. Bye-bye.